Thank you. It has been a bit wet in North Queensland, and we have had a team that's worked its way through. So it's a great project. We're proudly based in North Queensland, Queensland-focused, Queensland-based. I'm going to tell you today very quickly about our shallow oxide gold story that is emerging and is going to fund our bigger VMS gold, copper, zinc exploration going forward. Standard disclaimer. Okay, so a very quick corporate overview. Currently with a market cap day on day of about $15 to $17 million. The cash as at March 31 was $1 million, but we did complete a raise, a $3 million raise, and topped up the bank, and that leaves us well placed going forward. Okay, so Townsville is our home in North Queensland. We are an hour and a half from our projects out just south of Charters Towers. It's the Ravenswood Consolidated Project, and we've got a 7 million tonne resource. It is polymetallic, 7 million tonnes comprised of gold, copper, zinc, lead, and importantly, silver. So there's 7 million contained ounces of silver within that resource. Also importantly, we've got a shallow oxide resource of just a smidge under 40,000 ounces proven up, and we've been drilling the oxide component of Liontown. So Liontown comprises 6 of the 7 million tonnes of resource, and on top of that polymetallic resource, we've got a nice little ore body sitting on a granted mining lease. We're currently infill drilling that. Drilling should be completed this week, and moving forward into MET studies and pit design and ultimately mining in the near term. Now we have got, Townsville's a brilliant place to do work as an explorer and wannabe producer, and there is a concentrate export port out the road. We've got refineries in Townsville itself and a rail line that links us to Mount Isa, which despite all the reports has a smelter that's still running for the moment. Now we have a fully Townsville-based team, and those guys are passionate about being on the ground, so I prefer when they're in Charters Towers and I don't get to see their faces in the office in town. But what that means is we're always active on ground, and that turns into fantastic results. So since the last time we presented to you here, we hit numbers like 20 metres at 18.2 grams gold within this polymetallic ore body. So we have been focusing on the copper and gold rich parts of that system, and 16 metres at 4.5 grams gold and just over 1% copper. The Ravenswood Consolidated Project it's a big lease holding, 1,760 square kilometres, but we've really narrowed down on a couple of key zones, and that is in and around the Liontown to Highway Reward area, and along that Mount Windsor volcanic belt. We have built that in an 18-month window now. We've increased the global resource by 42%, and we've doubled the Liontown component of this resource. And importantly, we were able to report in gold equivalent terms because we drilled the copper gold rich parts of the system, and that means that gold is the dominant mineral in the system. Now we've also been able to put together a new interpretation which has essentially doubled the prospective contact. But over the top of this system we do have this gold resource, so it's 360,000 tonne at 1.8 grams, 21,000 ounces. So it comes through to surface, easily accessed, right on a gazetted road that takes us to mills in the district. There's 3 mills in the district: Pajingo, Blackjack being refurbed, and Ravenswood is within the district as well. So we will get to the point where we'll get this milling, the MET work completed with the drilling in the near term, have a pit design around that, and hopefully be in a strong position to progress to mining in the near term. That reinterpretation of the geology has also led to this a new geological interp. The green shape here is that prospective VMS contact, so it's a sediment volcanic contact. All the known 7 million tonne resource sits at Liontown, and 6 million tonnes sits at Liontown. And we have prospectivity all the way along that. Tiger Town with 33 metres at 2 grams from 12 metres depth is another area that we've been focusing on, and we'll go back and complete some more drilling there. We do have Plateau as well. So Plateau sits on a It sits on some joint venture ground we're farming into with a group called Rockfire Resources. And that has 2 gram resource as well that sits, it comes to surface on the eastern limb. There's 15,000 ounces there. So the rig finishes at Liontown in the next week, and it'll jump over onto to Plateau via one stop that we'll talk about in a second. This will be the next cab off the rank. We like to think that we're going to have in the order of 35 to 40,000 ounces of shallow oxide material that'll be generating cash flow for the next couple of years. And again, the drilling program to bring this to indicated status is about 1,000 metres of RC. Low cost to get it through to a production story. Now, Mount Pleasant, we put some news out today, so even when the rig's not turning and the drillers go on break, the geos don't, and they were busy out on ground at a new prospect called Mount Pleasant. And our interest was piqued when we saw a 95 gram rock chip in the historical database. The guys went out on site. There were 3 shafts over 550 metres of strike extent. And our guys have completed first pass mapping and sampling. On the northern end, we rock chip sampled a 64.5 gram rock chip. The southern end is 10.5 gram rock chip. We think it's a really prospective zone, only about 10 to 12 kilometres as the crow flies from Charters Towers. So it's incredible to think that these things are not only there, but sticking their heads out of the ground and undrilled. And I challenge you that if this was in the Yilgarn in WA, that it would have been well and truly tested by this stage. So that's our shallow oxide gold to start with. What still gets me excited, and most excited though, is the potential around some of these bigger VMS systems. So these big polymetallic systems, they are gold rich, they are copper rich. And the richest of all is a prospect called Waterloo. Now Waterloo sits there with a 700,000 ounce resource at 6.4 grams gold equivalent. And we think that we've found an offset position for Waterloo based out of good fieldwork and good interpretation. So we've got quite a psychedelic image here. This is a mag image. Normally geos look at these after a few beers the night before and can make great sense of it at that point. The red here is the Mount Windsor Volcanics. The Mount Windsor Volcanics stand out in magnetics, so it's easy to pick. And what we can see is the white bar in the north gives us a displacement on those Mount Windsor Volcanics of 700 metres. Waterloo sits down there as the 700,000 tonne ore body, and we see a pink shape on the other side of the fault zone, which is an IP chargeable shape. That tells us we've got metal in the ground. It tells us there's a significant amount of metal in the ground. The response is far more significant than the Waterloo response. We've done the first pass gravity over it. It spikes. It's a dense, chargeable anomaly, and we think it's massive sulphide. And we're hoping it's the other half of Waterloo. So before the rig moves over from Liontown to Plateau to keep drilling those shallow oxides, we're going to stop in and put 3 or 4 holes into this. We love the discovery potential of this, and it's a real priority target. They're the things that get me going as the geo, get me most excited. So why Sunshine? Well, we are looking to commercialise these oxide gold resources. They're shallow, they do come to surface. The met and resource upgrade is due in coming months, and we'll be pushing forward onto to mining studies and finding a home for that in one of the nearby mills. We do still have strong discovery potential from a bigger VMS system, those gold, copper, zinc systems, and we can't wait to get on ground at Sala. And last of all, underneath that shallow oxide gold system is a really significant copper, gold, zinc resource, and we'll be tearing into that. Come and see us at booth 60 on the end down here. We're on the end. It's been a long couple of days. Come and see us. You haven't got much time left. We'd love to tell you more about it at the booth. Thanks for your time.